y'all, welcome back to my channel. It's Alyssa, the Earbud Bookworm. So I have completely messed up so far this year. I have not even tracked my reading super well after January. Like I tracked January really well because I was doing a challenge on Storygraph. And for that, you had to, be reading a certain amount, or like just reading a little bit every single day. And I did that. And I think I've still continued to read at least a little bit every single day. I just haven't been tracking it because there wasn't a contest. So, anyway, with that in mind, I do still want to do a wrap up for January and February. I'll probably just put those together. Yeah. So I'm going to still try and do that. It'll probably be pretty short and sweet. And then I think I have enough books in March to do a wrap up then too. But I did just start an internship recently, so I'm working a lot more and not able to read as much as I was even with audiobooks. There's just not as much time in my day. There's not as much, I'm not really able to do a whole lot of the housework. My husband has taken over almost all of it at this point, which is one of the times that I would listen to audiobooks is doing housework. And like another time is like when I'm putting the kids to bed, and now I'm at a point where that's one of the only times I have to like pop in my earbuds and listen to any lectures for my classes and stuff like that. So like I say, very little time to read at this point. So what I might do after I finish the January, February, and March wrap-ups is switch to just doing videos about either if I read a book that I really like, I can do a review video, or talking about books that I've read previously, or just, whatever, getting into the community and starting conversations. So with that said, I did do the BookTube newbie tag. Like I recorded that video like 2 months ago. So I'm just going to go ahead and paste that in here, and that will be this video. So I'm going to go ahead and pop over to that, and I will see y'all again hopefully soon with some book wrap-ups. All right, bye y'all. So the first question is, why did you start this channel? And the answer to that is just because I really like to read. I love reading audiobooks, which is why I'm called the Earbud Bookworm. But I love to read, and I wanted to kind of get that sense of community. And I'm in a book club, but I don't often get to go. So I thought this might be a nice way to have some book community going on without that in-person thing. Second question is, what are some fun and unique things you can bring to BookTube? And honestly, I think it's just my personality. I'm super awkward. I like to ramble a lot. I might be autistic. I have not been screened for it, but 2 of my kids are autistic, and I definitely feel like I fit the criteria. I don't know that I'm ever going to go for an official diagnosis, but I feel like I fit that. And that can make it to where I definitely get really into researching certain things when I read a book or something like that. And so I might also come in with like some facts just because I get hyperfixated. Third one, what are you most excited for about this new channel? Like I said in the first question, community. I am excited about hopefully finding new people that I can talk to, even if it's just in the comments, or just watching their videos, they watch mine, even if we don't ever actually interact. Just finding, and also I feel like finding new books to read through other people, but also sharing my love of certain books, because I feel like I listen to a lot of books on Libby through my library. So I read some new books, but I also read some older books, and sometimes there's like those hidden gems where it's like nobody's talking about this book and it came out 5 years ago and it really didn't do well, but it's so good. Stuff like that. Number 4, why do you love reading? I love learning new things, for one thing. So when I read nonfiction books, I love that part. But as far as like fiction books, I love the being transported to a different place. I like to read mystery books a lot, and so I love like the puzzle, and I also like fantasy books because I love like going to the Renaissance Festival, or I used to do theater a lot, and it all kind of plays into that whole, it's not real life. It's an escape. It's escapism. The next question is, what book or series got you into reading? I've been reading for as long as I can remember. Like literally, I cannot remember a time that I wasn't reading. The first book or series, and it was a series that I remember like really just getting so excited about, was the Babysitters Club Little Sisters books. It was about, if you ever read the Babysitters Club books, and there was, I think one of them was named Christy. It was about her little stepsister, Karen. I think it was her stepsister. Either that or they were half sisters. I don't know. There was definitely a step parent involved. But there was like hundreds of books, and I would devour them. Like, I would read a whole book in one day. I loved them so much. That was the first one that I really remember. And then, yeah, that was, I don't know, that was like the big one. What questions would you ask your favorite booktubers? I guess the biggest question that I would ask is, how do you find time to do this? Because I'm in a situation, I guess, that a lot of other people are not in. I'm a parent, I work, I go to school, and then I also have just various other things that are not related to those things. Plus, like I said, 2 of my kids are autistic. One of them is high support needs. And yeah, there's a lot. And so it's like finding the time, not so much the time to read, because I do audiobooks, so I'm able to listen when I'm like doing the dishes or, driving to work or whatever, but finding the time to actually like sit down and record videos. How do you find time for that? And editing. What do you like to, how do you edit? Because I have Power Director on my phone, and I do really like that, but I feel like some of y'all have like some really good edits, even like on brand new channels. And it's like, are you sourcing that out? Do you do it yourself? Help. And then what's next? What challenges do you think starting a BookTube channel will be the hardest to overcome? And I think that, like what I just talked about, is just having time for it, which is probably why, I've had this channel for several months, and this is only like my 5th or 6th video. Just having the time to sit down and record and edit and all that, which is one reason why I've decided to stop being perfectionist. I'm not going to re-record things, and my editing's probably going to be fairly minimal, at least for the time being. If I ever get to a point where I have enough followers that I can like monetize and have extra money, maybe I'll put it back into, paying somebody to edit for me, but at this point, no. When did you start reading? Well, I answered that up above. I literally cannot remember a time that I wasn't reading. I think that there's a term for it. What is it? Like hyperlexic. I know for a fact that I was reading like picture books when I was like 3 or 4, and I was reading chapter books by 5. Where do you read? I read anywhere and everywhere since I do audiobooks. I literally, if I'm going to the grocery store, I will listen to an audiobook while I'm in the grocery store. I listen while I'm driving. I listen while I'm doing schoolwork. Sometimes I'll listen at the gym. It depends on if I'm doing something where I have to kind of think about it more. If I'm doing something thinky, like I am following a actual like regiment at the gym, then I listen to music. But if I'm just like going and just doing whatever as long as I feel like it, then I'll listen to a book. What kind of books do you like to read? So my favorite like type of books is probably like thriller mystery type. I do also really like horror books. So Stephen King is one of my favorite authors. I am currently reading his entire bibliography. I'm stuck though because I hit a book that I cannot get on Libby, so I'm having to read the physical book of it, and I just don't have the time or the focus, and so I started it I think over a year ago, and I'm only not even 100 pages in, so that's a problem. But I really like fantasy books. My husband really likes sci-fi, and he suggested a couple, and I read them, and like I kind of liked them, but sci-fi is definitely not my genre. But yeah, like the thriller, I hate to say it, but I really like suburban thrillers, like the Liane Moriarty. I really like her stuff. Definitely like that suburban thriller thing. And then the last question is, what does your book collection look like? And I mean, I have Libby, although I do also have a lot of physical books. I don't know that I'm going to show them to you because they are a total mess right now. But I live in a multi-generational household, so it's my husband and I live there and our kids, but it's also my parents, and it's technically their house and we live there. And we actually have a library room. Like, we have the front room when you first walk in the house is just shelves and shelves and shelves of books. And then there's books in our main living area. Those are all kids' books, though. Well, there's like a stack of adult books that my husband and I occasionally read. And then there's books in our bedroom, and pretty much everybody's bedroom has books in it. And then we have a basement that has books in it. So basically my book collection looks like tons and tons of books everywhere that I don't ever actually read because I do all my reading on Libby through audiobooks. So there you go. That is the newbie tag, and I am going to try really hard to keep up with posting videos and building a community because I need friends. I want friends. I want human connection, and that is a new thing for me to admit. I have been fairly introverted my entire life, and I still feel like that applies because when I have in-person human interaction, I definitely have to recover from it afterwards, even when it's enjoyable. But I have realized that I actually do enjoy interaction. I do enjoy speaking to other humans and making connections and finding out things about them and sharing things about myself. So if you would like to join me, then go ahead and hit subscribe, and I will talk to y'all soon. Bye, y'all.